How are you, my younger brothers? I'm your elder brother, Kiran Roy. My today's topic is how to set future plans and to achieve them with a focused mindset. So, lots of youngsters, they are in a dilemma these days that what do I do? How do I go about it? And even if I make some future plans, how do I achieve that with a focused mindset? Because now there are lots of distractions in this society, be it anything. Even if you just open one channel, there are like 200 content to watch. How do I make a decision? So you can just imagine the scale of distractions at today's times. If I sit to study, if I go to the gym, hundreds of my friends call me to saying that let's go out, let's party, let's have a blast, let's go out station, let's have drinks, let's have drugs. So many distractions. So kindly help us. I've been receiving such sort of messages since a long time actually. Hence, I thought I'll address it in my English channel first, and later on, I'll address it in my Hindi channel as well. But this is definitely a cause of concern, and I will give you 100% resolution to this. So, watch till the end and do consider giving a super thanks in my Hindi channel because this channel is not yet monetized. It will soon be because I'm hardly 3 or 4 days away from that. But for now, if you find any value in my content, definitely consider giving a super thanks in my Hindi channel. The reason being, if you find any value from my content, I don't require the value for myself. That will be forwarded to the orphan kids of the Chembur Children's Home. So if I give you any value, you don't need to give me that value back. You can just transfer it to the Chembur Children's Home through giving a super thanks, because I don't need a single rupee from you. By the grace of the universe, I am abundantly blessed. Even if my next 3 generations does not work, they won't have to worry about anything. That is the level at which I am currently. So you can very well imagine I don't need a single rupee from you. But this money will go in addition to mine for the orphan kids basically, because my contribution will always go. It has been going ever since I started my career way back in 1998. It's been 26 years. Every month I have been giving them lots of things. So that is how it is. So to begin this video, my first point is define your vision with absolute clarity. What happens wherever you go? This is not limited only to India. Wherever you go, at whichever part of the globe you may happen to be at, you will see people saying, hey, I want to be rich. Everybody will say, I want to finish my studies and I want to be rich. I want to, whenever people have got their jobs, they start with their job. If you ask them what's your future plans, I want to be rich. Everybody has that hazy idea that they want to be rich. But do they have a game plan towards that? So have a clear vision. Instead of saying, I want to be rich, say, I want to earn XYZ dollars or XYZ rupees in the next 2 years. For example, if you are from India and if you've just landed a job, and if somebody asks you, what's your future plans now? Instead of saying, I want to be rich, because I want to be rich suggests you have a hazy picture. You want to be rich, but you don't know how. You don't have a game plan. You even don't know how much you will end up saving. So always say, I want to make 5 lakh rupees in the next 2 years. XYZ amount. Just for example, I'm saying it can be more, it can be less. It's up to you. But always have a specified sum, because always think I need to have 10 lakh. Because when all these techniques I'm telling you from my own example, because when I was 17, I started my guitar academy. By 21, it was a huge affair. I paid off all the loans for my academy, even bought a luxury car in the process. And from once I paid off my loans and once I bought my car, from that time onwards, I made plans for myself. My plan was to raise a huge amount because I wanted to start my guitar factory, because already I was selling guitars, buying from the wholesalers. Already I was teaching guitars. Naturally, they will buy guitars from me, so I was procuring the guitars from the local wholesaler. But I was losing lots of money in the bargain, in the middle. So my next goal was I need to build a guitar factory so that I can cater to my growing needs of guitars from my own factory. I will be dependent only on myself. I won't have to depend on the wholesalers, the middlemen. So I'm able to knock off the middlemen in the process. But building a factory is no child's play. right? And once I had already taken a loan to start my academy from my father, and now I was settled, as in I was in a good space. So it doesn't make sense to take money from my father again, which I did not want to, because I had lots of, like, it was a matter of pride basically, that I have already bought a luxury car. Why do I again take money from my father? I could have easily asked for money from my father, and he would have gladly given also, because he always encourages business. He himself is a top industrialist. He would have gladly given me. But I thought, no, I won't. He has already given me, I mean, he has already done his duty by starting my academy way back in 1998, and I have paid off his loans. So now I am clear, as in I don't want any further obligations from his side. So what I did, I made a 5 years plan. When I was 21, my target was by 26, I should be earning XYZ amount. I can't disclose that amount, but it was a huge amount, because factory, it's a matter of factory. And I did not want to get into the burden of taking a loan, because I had seen, while I had taken the loan at the first time round, how difficult it is. As in, it is not, even if it is not difficult, it constantly weighs down on your mind. So I was clear, I won't take any loan, be it from my father, be it from government, be it from banks, anywhere, because that time government were giving loans to people like us. That offer was there, but I did not avail of that offer. So I thought, I have 5 to 6 years time. I will raise that amount the way at which my, so I pledged myself that in the next 2 years, I need to have 10 lakhs. The next four, roughly I'm saying, next 2 years, it should be 10. Another 2 years, it should be 15. Another 2 years, because total I had a time duration of 6 years. Another 2 years, it should be 25. Like that, I should be earning that much amount. And you will not believe me, it went exactly as per plan. Exactly in 2 years, I got that amount of, which I told you just now. Exactly another 20, in another 2 years, I got that amount. Exactly another 2 years, I got that amount, and I was fully equipped to build my guitar factory by the time I was 26. So my plan worked big time. After 26, I never had to buy any guitar or anything from any other supplier, because I was myself self-sufficient till this date. I happen to be so. So my first point is the most crucial point, that instead of saying, I could have said that, hey, I just want to be rich. But would that have taken me closer to my goals? Instead of saying I want to be rich, I said I want to make 10 lakhs in 2 years. Then after 2 years, I said I want to make 20 lakhs in the next 2 years. After the 2 years, I said I want to make 30 lakhs in the next 2 years. So I had a goal to work towards for. You guys play cricket, right? So when you're batting second, you know that I have to make 250 runs to win. So you know that you are achieving towards that goal. You are working towards that goal. Same way, set yourself a goal, set yourself a target that I need to have 10 lakhs in the next 2 years. That will bring you towards your goal, rather than vaguely saying, I just want to be rich. Because if you say, I want to be rich, it can be anything. What's the definition of being rich? For many people, having no money is also rich. They say, I'm happy. That's riches for me. So what is rich? Don't just vaguely use that term rich. If you are after money, as in if you need money, if you call, as in if money is your barometer of getting rich, then define that figure and work towards it and achieve it. Because once you achieve that, that time you will get a clear indication that you are going towards your goal. So this is my first point in achieving and achieving your goals with a focused mindset. This is how focused mindset is made. Next point is, break down your goals into small milestones. Lots of people, they directly aim big. They directly say, I want to be a top industrialist. I want to be a huge tycoon. I want to be this. I want to be that. It's good to have such dreams. It's good to have. It's not at all bad. But that will take you nowhere. You have to break it down into smaller milestones. For example, when I started my guitar academy at age 17, which I just told you, I was completely new in this field, and so was our country, because there existed no such concept. Because my concept was a music academy and a guitar showroom, both under the same roof. That was my model, which I kickstarted, which I pioneered. You can just type Kiran Roy Aspire in Google. You will get all details, because I've been ranked #1 in my field by India Today magazine in the top 10 list of Off the Beaten Path entrepreneurs from India. So just type Kiran Roy Aspire, Aspire, in Google. You will get the article. It is still there. Even you can just type Kiran Roy Rockstar. because I've been given the title Rockstar Entrepreneur by your story. So all my details are mentioned in Google. So whatever I'm saying are corroborated with facts. You just have to Google my name. That's it. So what I did when I started out my guitar academy, though as I said, by age 21, it became a huge thing. People from all over India started coming to me because my name spread far and wide. My I had an unique I had a new, I mean, I was awesome in playing guitars, but I was also awesome in teaching guitars, but I had a unique quality of giving 100% guaranteed results. You can see by my body language that I have that knack of getting my knowledge across to the other person. So same thing applied in my guitars as well, due to which all of my students were growing phenomenally. They were like getting 100% guaranteed results, and that time, that was not the age of the internet. So by word of mouth, my name spread far and wide. So due to which by 21, I became huge. Like I not just cleared my father's loan for my property of my academy, but even I bought a luxury car at just the ripe age of young age of 21. So how I reached that 21, how I reached that success level which I got at 21. Because at 17 when I started out, I just started with one student and I'm still in touch with him. He's still in my WhatsApp group of my students because I have kept him as a motivation. So he's my oldest student. So my first student, his name was Kashi. He had joined me. So once I got my first student, it took me around 5 to 6 months to get my second student. So directly, I did not get lots of students because though I did have many students, because this is what I'm talking about before I started my academy. Okay, I'm not talking about the time because once I started my academy, I had lots of students. But first, I started teaching from my house. So I'm talking about that time. So when I used to teach from my residence, that time he was my first student. So from my first student to my second student, there was a huge gap. So what I did not think about like getting thousands or hundreds of students for that matter. I just took it student by student. So I just focused on that one student. When I got that first student, when I used to teach from my house, I did a very good job with that first student. So looking at that first student, only three or four more, because he used to come to my house and he used to go with the guitar, right? So many people used to ask him, "Hey, where are you going? From whom are you learning?" So he only, I mean, through this only, I got the next second, third, fourth student in some time. I mean, immediately I did not get is what I'm trying to tell you. So from one I got two, from two I got three, four, five. So I step by step I grew, and after a point in time, the number of students coming to my home, because earlier, as I told you, I used to teach from my residence. Directly, I did not buy that property. You know, how can I invest in such a huge without, like, if I don't have any students only? So naturally, I was teaching from my house, but soon it reached hundreds, and my father himself told me, "Now listen, the student base has increased, so we cannot do it over here," because I had a sister that time. So guys are coming at odd hours, day and night they are coming, so I cannot allow this. So I'm giving you a loan, let's buy this property. There is this, in a commercial building, there is this awesome property in which this will be perfect for your academy. So he gave me the loan. He said he gave me the loan of 10 years, that you have to repay me this amount within a period of 10 years. So if you are agreeing with my terms and conditions, I can buy you this. So I jumped in that opportunity because that by that time I had like lots of students coming to my house. So my moral of the story is, directly I did not jump to that academy, and I did not get hundreds or thousands of students. Neither did I dream that one day I'll be having thousands of students. Nothing like that. I was very happy and content teaching that one student, that first student of my life, whose name is Kashi. So I've been training him with my utmost honesty and devotion. And with that one, it became two, three, four, five, six, seven. Then it reached 100 while I was still at my house itself. And when it reached 100, that is when I moved on to my commercial premises, which was the first, which also incidentally happens to be the first professional music training academy in India. You can just type Guitar Hall or Kiran Roy Guitar. You can type in Google. You will get full details about my background. There is a wiki page also in my name. All details are given there in Google. So the bottom line is, what I did was I set small milestones. When I had one student, my next milestone was five students. I got five. Then my next milestone was 10, then 20, then 40, then 60, then 100. And when I reached 100, that is when I shifted on to the bigger and commercial premises. So never ever directly aim for the moon. Have milestones, make small milestones. Like I gave you the clear picture. Since I was into teaching, it was the number of students which mattered to me. So first it was 1, then 5, then 10, like that. So take it step by step. Don't directly jump for the moon. All right, because it will overwhelm you. If you set very high expectations for yourself, and if you are unable, for example, there was a reason why I said that between my first student and the next 5 students, there was a huge gap. Directly, I did not get the other students. So suppose if you make huge goals for yourself, what will happen is, when you have one student, suppose had I, like you had I set very huge goals that I want 1,000 students, but I'm still stuck at one. As I said, it took me 5 to 6 months to get into my next set of students. So suppose if I had huge goals, if I had made huge goals for myself that I need 1,000 students, and I'm still stuck at one for months altogether, then I would have felt completely demotivated, and I might have even quit doing that. I'm just giving an example. I'm not a quitter. I never quit. But I'm just giving an example. Any other person in my place would have quit. He would say that, hey man, I want 1,000 students and I'm still stuck at one. So there's no future scope for me. Thinking that they would quit. And that is what happens also when you see people at the gym. They go for 1 month, 2 months, they don't see any results. They quit. They So many people join my guitar classes because these are all art forms. Bodybuilding, as in muscle building, gym, learning guitars, these are all you require lots of discipline, lots of consistency. But people don't get results in 1 month, they quit altogether. So that is what you don't have to do. You must, to prevent that, you must always keep small achievable goals. So set small milestones. Don't directly aim for 1,000 students. I never dreamt of 1,000 students, which I got incidentally. But my first step was just getting the next 5 students. That's it. And once I got it, I changed my goal to 10 students. So very small steps I took, baby steps I took, and very soon I reached my target of 1,000 students within a few years. As I said, by the time I turned 21, I reached that goal as well. But that happened only because I was not overwhelmed with huge goals. I was just happy doing what I was doing, because my only life revolved around guitars, which it still does till this date. My only passion, my only happiness in life was playing guitars. So as long I was doing guitars for a living, I was happy. So it did not take any, I did not face any difficulty in reaching my goal. My next point is, a weak man chases distractions and a strong man eliminates them. So my point is, eliminate dopamine addiction, because whatever gives you dopamine is your biggest enemy. Now you will ask me, what are the things which can give me dopamine? Watching porn can give you dopamine. Eating burgers can give you dopamine. Going out clubbing with your friends can give you dopamine. There are lots. List is endless. Smoking can give you dopamine. Watching Netflix can give you dopamine. So these are all the cheap dopamine which you should stay away from, because they act as your biggest distraction. Since a very young age, I was, because I'm myself a very addictive personality, and I was also psychology student, as I told you, as you must be aware of. So I was very well aware of my personality type. I am a very addictive personality. Whatever I do it, I tend to overdo it, which so at the initial part of my career, I never got into cigarettes or drinks or anything. I did get, but that was after I tasted success after 21, which I already told you about. After 21, I got it, because I had pledged that during my formative years and until I repay that loan back to my father, I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to party, because when I have not achieved my goals, what should I celebrate? Why should I celebrate? I will celebrate, but once I reach my goals, and I have done that. But I'm talking about my period between 17 to 21. That was the time which made me. So during that time, I was aware of my personality type, that I was a dopamine junkie, like all of you, like whatever gives dopamine. Why do you think people eat junk food? Because they are getting their dopamine fix and they are too weak. Mentally, they are weak to resist that temptation. But my strength has always been a strong mindset, as in you guys must be aware of. Mindset is my biggest strength. Strong mindset has been my biggest ally. So I eliminated whatever gave me dopamine, apart from playing guitars, because guitar. See, there are two types of dopamine. One is the one which you get easily, like say just watching porn. Within 2 months, in just 2 minutes, your mind will be flooded with dopamine. Having a rasgulla, gulab jamun, within 20 seconds, your brains will be flooded with cheap dopamine. You can have a bar of chocolate, 2 minutes, your brains will be filled with dopamine. So these, Netflix, movies, Dopamine. Why do you think so many Indians are mad after cricket? Dopamine. Why do you think the entire country is mad after cricket? These are all the, these are all the cheapest form of obtaining dopamine. Now you will ask me, then what type of dopamine should we chase? I personally started bodybuilding, as in not bodybuilding. I always use that word bodybuilding because bodybuilding is different. You can say gymming. I had started gymming when I was in 10th standard. So that used to give me that dopamine. So after a 45 minutes, 1 hour workout, I used to get that dopamine fix. So I was aware that if I lift weights, if I because I was a cricket team captain, football team captain also, so I used to run. So I was aware that if I run, if I lift weights, I will be getting that same high which I am looking for. So since that age, I was a gymmer. Still, ever since I started gymming when I was 16, when I was in 10th standard, I was 16 that time till today 44. I always had a gym membership. There has never been even 1 year in my life that I did not have a gym membership. So I always chase dopamine through hard work, like running, like playing those difficult guitar solos, by lifting weights. These are the things which gives me the dopamine till this date. It is not something which I stumble, though I did stumble upon that during that part of my life. So, but it stayed on with me till this date. So what I'm trying to tell you is stay away from distractions, because as I said, my title of this point is only weak people chase distractions. Strong people eliminate these distractions. So I was a strong person. So how I eliminated these distractions? Because that time when I was 17, I was a teenager, man. I was hardly like out of school. I was a teenager, but I already had a huge loan on my head because my father had to pay him off, right? So my friends used to ask me, that let's go bowling, let's go to play pool, because that time there was a huge craze of playing pool. There used to be pool parlors all over my town, my city, Chembur. I still stay in Chembur. That time also I was in Chembur only, Mumbai. So pool parlors had mushroomed at each and every place, and certain places even offered beer. So my friends would tell me, let's go and have beer, let's play pool, let's go bowling. And that time newly McDonald's had started, which my friends used to frequent. That was in Shivaji Maharaj, as in Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus, opposite that. So that was Mumbai VT that time, Victoria Terminus that time. So that time the first McDonald's had also come. So my friends used to go, they used to tag along all the way from Chembur to that part of the town to have a good time. But all of this, I used to say no. I used to say no. During Diwali, they used to have the drinking parties in the night. In Christmas, least said the better. It's only about drinking. So they all of my friends used to call me, but I never used to go. The reason being, I was aware that if I go in one shot, 3 to 4 thousand rupees will get blown. Because these friends used to call me because I was the only one who was earning. Okay, they had an ulterior motive of always calling me because all of them were still students. I was also a student, but I was also working at that time. But they were only studying, as is the norm. Like they start earning after 23, 24, 25. But I was earning ever since I was 17. So they were aware that if we call him, he will pay for our booze, he will pay for our drinks, he will pay for our everything. So that was another ulterior motive they had, because of which they used to call me a lot. But I never used to go because I could easily see through them that they are calling me. And not only will that be a big distraction for me, but I will lose out on my precious money which I am saving. See, I had the money. It's not as if I did not have, because my academy was going on. But I had this huge burden of repaying off the debt which I took from my father, though he had given me 10 years. But my target was I wanted to finish it off in 5 years itself, so that I can live I can live freely without any debt on my head, without any dagger looming on my head, on my shoulders. So that is why it was my target that I want to get rid of it at the earliest. So by the time I turned 21, at 17 I took 18, 19, 20, 21. In 4 years itself, I managed to repay the full amount. Courtesy this approach which I had inculcated. The approach was I cut out all the distractions from my life. All the cheap dopamine, cheap thrills, I just threw it out of my mind, and I just focused on I was a dopamine junkie, but I did chase the difficult dopamine, which I used to get from weight training, by running for, though I did not used to run that much that time because I was very thin that time. So it was that time I was not that aware, right? Because running has got nothing to do with like thin or anything. It can aid anybody because running is internal. It is more internal than exterior. I should have carried on running, but that time I did not used to run that much. But I used to weight train. That used to give me that dopamine. And I was a guitar student, right? I was an avid guitar learner. So playing those difficult Tornado of Souls leads, Hangar 18 solo, Judas Priest leads, Painkiller solo I used to play. So all these, so playing these solos used to give me that dopamine. So I chased the real dopamine the hard way rather than getting it through distractions. So this is the point, crucial point which I'm trying to tell you. Never ever chase the distractions, eliminate those distractions, because that is the only thing which will keep you away from reaching your goals. Getting it? My next point is follow the one goal rule. Multitasking weakens execution. You will see many people hopping on many things simultaneously. I had a friend, he had a garments business. At the same time, he started a food business. At the same time, he started a car dealer sort of a business. And do you know what happened? Each one of his businesses flopped, including his primary business, which was garments. Each one of them. So my, but if you look at my trajectory, it was only teaching guitars which I started off with. Until this date, I'm only known for that one skill of mine, because I never multitask. Whatever I did multitask was after a point in which I had gained a firm footing in my strength, in my play area of strength, which is teaching. I just built it up from there on. But when I started my career, since I started my career being the owner of Guitar Hall Academy, my main business or my main nature of job was guitar teaching, teaching guitars. So I only focused on teaching guitars. I did not do anything else. But only when I got that success at age 21, that is when I introduced all the other instruments. I got teachers for drums, violin, piano, all instruments I started. Till this date, we teach all the instruments. I only teach guitars. I specialize only in guitars, but I have teachers teaching everything. But directly, I did not start all those things. The reason being, my specialty is only guitars. I did not want to cram up the environment with things wherein I am not an expert in. Like that friend of mine, he was an expert in the garments field, but he stepped out of his strength by getting into food business, vehicles, as in car dealership and all. That was not his area of strength. He failed miserably even in his area of strength due to that bad decision of his. So never ever have different fields to work at. Only choose one field and try to be strong in that. Because once I got strong in my field, I just added more. Like I added more instruments, I added a guitar factory. All are related to each other. I never made a vast shift from my area of interest. See, throughout my life, I was good only in three things. One is music, which I'm doing till this date. I have guitar academies, guitar showrooms, guitar factory. That is what I've been performing throughout the world. So that is what I've been doing with music. Second is fitness. I'm till date, I'm known for my fitness. I'm a runner. I lift weights. Third is psychology. Since the past 26 years, I'm pursuing psychology. That is what I'm doing with you also, as you are very well aware of. I'm bringing like groundbreaking. I'm bringing groundbreaking revelations out in the forefront. Every day, I'm doing something for the welfare of humanity. So, if you've seen my trajectory, it's been only three things which I have done throughout my life. I never stepped out of my strength, as in I only built on my strength, but I never got into, say, construction. I never got into electrical, though I have an electrical background. My father is he's big time into, he's an electrical industrialist, and I am also an electrical engineer. So I have all the rights, I have all the avenues to get into that, but I never got into it because that's not my place of expertise. My expertise lies only these three things: fitness, music, and psychology. These three are my strengths, and I have built it up very well. I have monetized psychology, I have monetized music, but fitness I did not monetize. The reason being, I want to keep fitness only for my longevity, because I don't use fitness as a means of looking good or to earn money. I look at as a means of giving me that strength to pursue my two other big time goals, which is music and psychology. So fitness is giving me that raw power to go about it, to go about that journey. So I will never monetize fitness, which I have decided. But my psychology has already been monetized since the past 10 years. Music is monetized since the past 26 years. So that is how I have made my growth, and that is what even I would recommend you, that never ever get out of your strength zone. Focus only on one aspect rather than multitasking, because multitasking will definitely weaken your purpose, your goal, 100%. My next point is develop relentless discipline. Because you know what? Motivation is going to wither away. Motivation is going to leave you very soon. You will be, you look at these New Year resolutions, people starting gym, people starting music classes. They go there for 1 month. From February onwards, you will see the same gym, it is lying vacant, it is empty. Why? Their motivation has withered away, it has flown away into thin air. So always be disciplined. Never ever rely on motivation alone. It is okay to get motivated and start something. But after that, it's discipline which should take over. You shouldn't rely entirely on motivation alone because there will be bad days. That's for sure. During bad days, motivation won't act. It is your discipline which will act. During bad days, suppose when I had started teaching and now I'm working out in the gym. Now somebody has come to my class which I had forgotten about. I had a class. So had I been motivated, then had I relied only on motivation, I would have done something else. But now it is discipline. It is discipline that I have to go there and do that in spite of my mind not wanting to go. My mind wants to do something else, but I still have to go because it's a matter of discipline. Because had I relied only on motivation, I would have said, I could have easily given some excuse that, hey, I'm not feeling well, I'm now out of town, anything I could have said. But it's a matter of discipline that no, I have to go, I am supposed to go there. So I will put my other activity on the back burner and I will go and I will conduct my classes as decided. I won't depend on giving excuses. Easily I can give excuses. All teachers does that, don't they? They always say I'm busy, I'm out of town. I could have also done that, but till date I have never ever done that because I am disciplined as F. So always stay disciplined in life. Rely only on discipline, never on motivation. Next point is surround yourself with high value people. Weak people are going to take you away from your goal, that is 100% sure. So what I used to do, I was not fortunate enough to surround myself with strong achievers because I was way superior to the people around me. So in my case, what I did was I got into solitude. I cut away everybody because I was not fortunate enough to find people who are stronger than me or who are like go-getters. Because majority of the people I grew up with, who were my classmates and all my friends and all were all were grown up on a diet of just getting marks, getting degrees, getting jobs. That's it. That's exactly what all of them are doing till this date. All are just working somewhere. All are just following, taking orders. All are just living for a paltry salary. And that is not what I wanted to do. My goals were way different. So I cut off all these people from my life because I was aware that if I have to make some company, it should be better than me, or having no company is better than that. So since I was not fortunate enough to get people who are better than me, the next best step was to cut them off, eliminate them completely. So that is what I have done. So if you guys are fortunate enough to have good, strong, focused people around you, definitely be in touch with them because they are the ones who will make you grind towards your goals. They are the ones who will push you towards your goals. Wherein, if you are with these mediocre herd followers who just chase marks, pays EMIs, just gets drunk on weekends, they will, if you are with such kind of people, trust me, you will never go anywhere in life. You will never reach anywhere in life. So that's why at a very young age itself, I had eliminated those weak people, those those weak herd followers from my life. My next point is winners adapt, losers complain. So always track your results. Don't just go out there and do your work like everything is in the air. Don't just do that. There should be a purpose behind everything and there should be an accountability to what you're doing. So always keep a track of whatever you have achieved, say in that past month, past 2 weeks, past week for that matter. Every effort of yours should be held accountable. And if you are not doing good, if you saw that you did not do good, then adapt, try to figure out what went wrong, why you did not get that desired result which you wanted. Try to think, try to do soul searching. That is what I have done throughout my life because I can easily tell you that life will never be a upward graph right throughout. It will go up, it will come down, it will go up, it will come down. So when you have come down, you must think, you should analyze that yes, I did go down, and you must think and analyze why you went down. You must find out the points that I did not put in that much effort, my staff did not put in that much effort, whatever that reason is. Try to pinpoint that and take action on that. If you are not having a good workforce, remove them, replace them with a better workforce. Do whatever it takes is what I mean. But you must always analyze. You must always keep a track of what's happening. You must not just keep it like it's going, let it go the way it is going, because that is a common Indian thinking which I have seen. In America, the case is different because I have homes even in America, where my brother and my father stays. So I go to US very often, but I'm talking about India. In India, I've seen majority, because in USA I've seen they don't have this kind of a mindset. There they do as I'm saying in this point. But in India, people just go like vaguely the way water is flowing wherever the path is leading me. They are not in control of the destiny basically. So don't be that person. Always keep a track. Hold yourself accountable. Make changes wherever and whenever it is required. Next point is never get emotionally attached to failure. Always use failure as a fuel, because that is exactly what I have done throughout my life. I've faced more failures in my life than victories. That is a harsh truth, because looking at me today, people must be thinking I've been a victorious soul right throughout. No. I started off my career being called as the number one loser. Everybody used to call me a loser, including my parents, my relatives, society, teachers. Everybody used to call me a loser because I had abolished education at a very young age. I had, from being a class topper, I became a last bencher. I abolished formal education completely because I did not want to be a part of the herd. I wanted to build my own path. So naturally, whenever anybody walks that path all alone, you are getting away from the herd. So naturally, that herd will call you a loser, and that is what happened with me. Everybody called me a loser. So initial part of my career was only about failures, complete failure I was. But I did not think much because I knew that where I am going, people have not walked that path. So I knew though I was not completely sure of where I was going because I have not seen, no, because there was nobody in my field who had done it. What I set out to do, there was nobody. I had no barometer that I can reach like that person. I can become like that person. I had nobody to emulate. So I was just walking. I was cutting the forest and I was making my own path and walking further. And I did not know where I'm going because I wanted to be good in what I'm doing, but I did not have a destination. Because currently where I am, you can call that a destination, but I was not aware that time that I'll reach here because nobody else had done it before. I had nobody to emulate. So never ever think of failure as a roadblock. So whenever I used to fail, what I used to do, I used to convert that into fuel to fuel my hard work towards that same venture. I would fall once. Again, I would stand. I would take that as a fuel. I would convert that into fuel, into anger, and I would use that as a fuel to walk in that same path, to cut that forest and to make path for myself. That is what I had done full life to reach wherever I am at this date. So always use failure. Don't never use failure as a roadblock. Use it as fuel to make you go ahead. And now for my final and the biggest point. You will ask me all these are you will ask me what should I do now? If I mean all these are good if I know what my purpose is. But how do I find my purpose? So suppose if you don't have a purpose currently, you don't know what your goal is currently, then the only thing you should be doing right now is pursue yourself. Just pursue yourself. As in, do the things that you love doing. If you love playing football, just play football. If you love playing guitars, play guitar. If you love running, just continue running. If you love traveling, go out on a long solo trip. Do whatever you like doing. Trust me, within a few months, automatically when you least expect it, you will get the answer that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. You won't have to do much. So whenever you are clueless about the direction that you want to take, that you see yourself taking, whenever you're clueless, don't eat your brains and don't frustrate yourself thinking, hey, I don't even have a purpose. Don't worry. Just pursue whatever you love doing. Automatically will get the answer. What is the thing, what you should be doing for the rest of your life. All right. So I sign off for today. Jai Hind.